Hello, everybody. I'm Ukulele Jay with Vintage Ryan. Today, we're on episode number 9 of Uke-n-Talk Vintage. And today we have an instrument that is really incredible, and it is an instrument that I have not seen. I really didn't hear about it until Ryan told me about it. And today we're talking about the Rutan. So Ryan, take it away.
Thank you. This is Rutan, R-U-T-A-N. And this is a not very commonly seen vintage instrument, and this is a high-end instrument. Built in the mid-20s, this is a solid mahogany ukulele, and this is kind of built in the Martin and Gibson sort of style. Out there on the web where people talk about these, they talk about these as Martin copies. Mm-hmm. I don't actually, once I got one in my hands and compare it side by side with a Martin, it's certainly got its differences, as we compared it with your Martin style too, which is kind of similar in some ways. It's not that as much of a Martin copy as I think people give the impression. In fact, the feel of the instrument and the feel of the fretboard feels much more like my Gibson than my Martin. So regardless, this is a fabulous ukulele, and this instrument is what I am guessing is Rutan's highest end instrument, because it's got all this binding, and the wood is really high end. This has bar frets, and they are extremely narrow gauge bar frets. Little tiny fret markers, which kind of seem to be mother of pearl. Is that what you would guess they are?
It looks like mother of pearl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's interesting is they have a double at the 7th.
Yes.
Marker on that, and then the 10th they have a single.
Yes, and it's in wonderful original condition. The back has this beautiful mahogany, which some people call this ribbon mahogany, I've been told, and it's got all these beautiful lines to it, and the neck is just perfect. Again, another vintage ukulele with not a stacked heel, and the headstock shape, which you were commenting on recently, which is really unique. Rutan did this. There are a couple ukuleles out there that aren't branded as Rutan, but they have this headstock shape, and those are Rutans. One I think is, I don't even remember. I think Peter Pan is another one they used with this headstock shape, but I've seen a couple oddballs. So Rutan built, they call him a jobber. Someone would come to the company and say, I want to build these with this name on it. You know, Martin was famous for doing that as well for all kinds of companies.
And this doesn't have a sticker. This actually has an imprinted headstock.
Yeah, it's like a stamp, really.
Stamp.
They must have stamped it before they
nice cursive lettering in there.
Yeah.
Hard to see, but we'll have it stand out in the pictures at the end of our show. And the other thing that I really love is the really unique nut that's on this instrument.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a nut like that on any instruments at all anywhere.
I haven't either. It's an exact complement to the black binding on the outside of this instrument. You have a black, black nut.
Actually, white, black, white.
Excuse me, white, black, white, and same on the nut. And I believe that the saddle is bone.
And now when you're holding this instrument just this way, and I'm looking at the side of this instrument, one of the things that is really cool about perfectly quarter sawn wood is getting the medullary rays to show out or to stand out, which shows it is perfectly quarter sawn. And this has incredible medullary rays all around the outside on the sides of this instrument. I mean, this wood is perfectly quarter sawn, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's really well done. I mean, the owner, John Rutan, was building a fabulous instrument and used very clearly high grade, as this is the best mahogany I think that money could buy. And I don't even know how much that sort of mahogany is available now, if one could even get that sort of mahogany. Probably not. So I found this. I was watching for years, and finally found one and was turned on by a friend who wanted to buy it, but he's a Martin fanatic, so he got a Martin Ditson, which left this one open to me. And that's the great thing about the uke community. Another collector turned me on to this and said, "Hey man, you ought to You ought to check it out. So the sound is fabulous, and one interesting thing about the history of this particular instrument is it had a crack from the bridge down to the bottom of the instrument right here.
Which you really can't see at all. It was done really well when it was repaired.
And the reason you can't see it is because it was repaired so well. And when I got in there and looked, what the luthier, whomever repaired it, whenever it was done, he put a very thin piece of mahogany to repair it behind it. But then, which was surprising, he actually put in a bridge plate. And I couldn't figure out why he did that. But as I look at the instrument from the side, which I'm sure you can't see on the camera, but you can see, the wood's a little high here and here. And as I thought through it, what was happening is, because the top is so thin, that bridge was pulling. It was deforming the wood, it cracked. So the luthier updated this instrument basically and created a bridge patch and fixed this, and it's wonderful. And so it's really stable and ready to play for another, towards 100 years. This is coming on 100 years old, a little less right now, and you wouldn't guess. It looks like
looks
was
great.
made,
maybe 50s. I'd say something
it's
like
just
that.
fabulous. It's also got, you can see the rosette, which is super
Real
cool.
subtle.
To me, it's super cool because it's so subtle you hardly even see it. Unless you look, you don't see it. But then you get this very subtle rosette that they took the time to do beautifully.
Great. Well, at the end of all of our videos, we do a sound sample. So let's hear what this baby sounds like.
Okay, it's bright, it's punchy, just the way I like a ukulele. Sounds like a soprano. To me, this is how a ukulele should sound in my head.
Very nice, very nice. Well, thanks for watching episode 9 of Uke-n-Talk, and we hope you enjoyed the video series, and we have many, many more vintage ukuleles on the way. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.